Hello, I'm Jill at engVid, and today's lesson is on some idioms, sayings, expressions which come from sports, ball sports, sports played in a field or by a team, that kind of sport. Okay, so let's have a look here. First of all, this is an appropriate one for the beginning of the lesson because it says, let's get the ball rolling. And that's what people say when they want to make a start with something. So in any sport, of course, you have to get the ball rolling. But in a metaphorical way, in other contexts, if you want to get a meeting started or a lesson started, or anything, you say, let's get the ball rolling, meaning rolling along the ground, okay? So that could be any sport, any type of ball, okay? Next one also mentions a ball, and it says, keep your eye on the ball. So in sport, of course, you have to look at the ball, you have to focus. So it's about focus. If you're playing football, for example, you need to see where the ball is. It's very important. But in other contexts, metaphorically, in your work, for example, you have to keep your eye on the ball. Don't lose focus. So you don't want to lose focus by not looking at the ball. So it's used in that metaphorical sense as well. Just keep your mind on what you're doing and don't let yourself be distracted by anything else. Okay? Next one. So goalposts are mentioned here. So that refers to any kind of sport where there is a goal. That kind of goal in football, or maybe that kind of goal in rugby, different types of goals, and this is a bit like in ice hockey as well. There's a goal where you try to score a goal by getting the ball into the goal. But if you say to somebody, you're moving the goalposts, you can't do that in sport. Usually, well, always, the goal stays where it is. It doesn't move. It's sort of in the middle at the side at both ends, isn't it? It's a very particular place it has to be. But if you're having a discussion with somebody and you have different opinions and the other person starts to argue in a slightly strange way, or they're changing the focus of your argument, you could say to them, you're moving the goalposts, and it's supposed to be a criticism because it's somebody who's trying to play a trick really by moving the goalposts so that they can win their argument and you lose your side of the argument. So you have to try not to move the goalposts unless, well, if you like to argue that way and you do move the goalposts, then that's your choice, but that's what it means. Okay. Next one. This is another playing field, either a football field, rugby field, cricket maybe, but usually when there's a goal at both sides, because if you say we need a level playing field, it means level. If you have a sloping field, there's going to be an advantage to one side. If you kick a ball down a sloping field, you can get to the goal much more quickly. If the other team are having to kick the ball up a slope, that's making it very difficult for them. So if someone says we need a level playing field, in a metaphorical context, it's about equality, really. It's about equality and fairness. To be fair to people, give them an equal, not one person have an advantage over another person, but make sure everybody's equal. So a level playing field. Okay, next one. If someone is out of his league, the league is usually in football, for example. You have different leagues where people are at different standards. So the league is a kind of standard. Okay. So there's the league at the top. All the top teams are in the first division, it's called in UK football, the first division. And then you have the second division, who aren't quite so good, third division, and so on. So if you're out of your league, in a football sense, you're in a team, maybe you're not such a good player, but you're in a team of really good players, and then you're not good enough really to be in that top team. So you're out of your league. So if he's out of his league in that team, he's not really up to the standard of the other players. But in everyday life, this is used sometimes if someone isn't at the same high standard as their colleagues, or sometimes if someone has a girlfriend or boyfriend who comes from a different class, or they have a higher standard of education, or there's something that makes them a little bit unequal, you can say that person's out of his league, or, oh, she's out of her league with that boyfriend, you know, that sort of thing. So if you're out of your league with somebody, it's not a very nice thing for anyone to say. It may not be true. It's just opinion, really. So, okay, that's that one. So this one here, this comes from tennis. So if you've seen a tennis match, the two players are hitting the ball across the net to each other, or four players if it's a doubles tennis match. So the court is a tennis court. So you've got the tennis court here. This is seeing it from above, and the net goes across about this height, I think, and then they have to hit the ball over the net with tennis rackets like that. A little bit like that. That's not a very good drawing, sorry. But this is the tennis court. Each player is there hitting the ball across, back and forward to each other. So if the ball is in your court, the ball has come over to you, you have to try to return it. If you don't, you lose the point, and the other person wins the point, and eventually you will lose the whole game or the match, and the other person wins. So if the ball is in your court, metaphorically, it means it's for you now to do something. You have to respond to someone, you have to answer a question, or you've been given the opportunity to do something, you've now got to do it. So the ball is in your court. The action is for you to take now. It's your turn. Okay. Right. Then, this one. I'm getting into the swing, or sometimes the swing of it, the swing of doing something, is when you're getting used to doing something. You've been practicing for a while and you're beginning to feel more confident doing it. And this can either come from tennis, where the swing is like this with the racket when you hit the ball, or it could come from golf, where you have a golf club and you swing like that and hit the ball with the golf club. That's a swing as well. So to get into the swing means you've practiced it often enough to feel confident in what you're doing. So if you've started a new job and you've been there for about a month, say, and you're just beginning to find your way around and getting to know the system and everything, and your boss might say to you, how are you getting on? You've been here a month now. Is everything okay? You might say, oh yes, I think I'm getting into the swing of it now. I'm getting used to it, feeling more confident and learning how to do the job. Okay, then next one. She's not feeling up to par. Par is a golfing term. It's to do with a kind of a standard to do with how many times a good golfer has to hit the ball to get it into all the holes. If it's an 18-hole golf course, what is their sort of standard? How many hits do they have to make on average to get the ball into the hole 18 times? So that's par. So if she's not feeling up to par, it means you can also say she's feeling below par. You can say below par as well. She's feeling below par, which means not at her usual standard, and feeling suggests health, and she's not feeling very well, or she's catching a cold or something. So someone might phone up and say, I'm sorry, I can't come into work today. I'm really not feeling well. I'm not feeling up to par, or I'm feeling below par. I think I'm catching a cold or the flu. So it's to do with a level of ability, really, ability. And your normal standard of ability, you may feel below it sometimes. Okay, and then finally we have par again, which, as I say, comes from golf. It's par for the course. The course is a golf course where you play golf. It's called a golf course. All the big open green space of grass and everything else, sand pits and things, and lakes where the ball can go into the water. Things can go wrong. Trees at the side where you can lose a ball. Not a good idea. Anyway, if you say it's par for the course, that means, oh, that's normal. That's normal. Again, the par here is the player's kind of normal standard, average standard of ability. So if you say it's par for the course in a metaphorical way, it means, oh, well, we're used to that. That's normal. In the job I do, the kind of job you do, you expect that kind of thing to happen. Sometimes it sort of suggests something has gone wrong, and you say, oh, don't worry, it's par for the course. I'm used to that sort of thing going wrong. You know, we're used to it. We know how to put it right. It's par for the course. It's completely normal. It's happening all the time. Okay, so I hope that's a useful run through of some idioms from ball sports, and hopefully perhaps some vocabulary, some new vocabulary you've learned today as well. So if you'd like to go to the website, engVid.com, there's a quiz there to test you on your knowledge of the subject here. And thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye for now.